All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. We're talking about the Seattle Seahawks in today's video. So yesterday, you guys ripped a preseason game against the Tennessee Titans. Mike McDonald and Titans head coach Brian Callahan, both of them decided to rest pretty much majority of their starters so that the backups could fight for jobs. If you watched preseason football yesterday, it was just the battle of the backups. And I'm so excited about Geno Smith, and we're hearing great things about, Geno Smith and JSN's connection. I think Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf, JSN. I think Noah Fant is extremely underrated as well. If they can clean up the offensive line, like we said in our video, a couple of days ago, Seattle, I think last year wasn't a roster issue. Certainly wasn't a roster issue. Felt like a coaching issue, whether it was coordinators or starting with the head coach and Pete Carroll. It was just time for a change. And that's exactly what happened. But Geno Smith, to me, is still a fully capable 30-touchdown Pro Bowl guy. And he got one of the best, deepest, most versatile wide receiver rooms in the NFL. You got Zach Charbonnet, now Kenny McIntosh backing up Kenneth Walker, a bunch of dogs on the defense. And obviously, the Seattle Seahawks defense will probably be top 10. And if it's not, it'll probably be close to top 10 because it's a really good front seven. It's a really good secondary. The Seattle Seahawks are you're going to make San Francisco and the Los Angeles Rams. Seattle's not going to be an easy win this upcoming season. And by the end, I think Mike McDonald, when everything's fully cemented for the regular season, they've got a whole year to just adapt, acclimate to this system, to this scheme. I really think long-term Seattle it's extremely exciting. And what makes it even more exciting is what I keep seeing from Sam Howell. Now, I want to go through a couple of different Seahawks players, specifically from yesterday's preseason game. But before we do, if you guys enjoy it, hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content. I want to thank BetUS for sponsoring this video. More on that in just a minute. But folks, Sam Howell is really interesting because he was with Washington last year. If I'm not mistaken, he started in the last game for Washington 2 years ago. He was drafted in 2022, and he played the final game of the season. And I just have this kind of vague memory right now that Ron Rivera did not even know this dude's name. But look, saying that out loud, I mean, that sounds kind of crazy. But anyways, he started every game for Washington last season, 4-13. The Commanders were not one of the better football teams in the NFL, but he had a 63.4 completion percentage, threw for about 4,000 yards, averaging a little over 230 passing yards per game, and he had 21 total touchdowns. Now, he did have 21 interceptions, and he took way too many sacks.
This video is brought to you by BetUS Sportsbook and Casino.
All right, guys, before we get back into the video, once again, thank you to BetUS Sportsbook and Casino for sponsoring this video. If you're looking for a new book this football ball season, BetUS is going to be the answer. They're doing 125% sign-up bonus up to $2,000 on your first 3 deposits. Fastest payouts in the industry. And I want to show you click by click, step by step, exactly what I have my eye on right now regarding the Seattle Seahawks. We're going to go to football. We're going to scroll down here to NFL divisions, and we're going to check out the Seattle Seahawks right over here. The bet to win, the Seattle Seahawks, NFC West winners, plus 750 right here. So I got my eye on there because you never know. San Francisco might have peaked. Matt Stafford just tweaked his hamstring. Seattle's defense with Mike McDonald, folks, they could make a lot of noise really quick. So check out BetUS, link down below in the description. Once again, they've got 24/7 personalized customer service, live wagering on all major games, and once again, up to 125% sign-up bonus. $2,000 on your first 3 deposit. But if you're a Commanders fan, or if you're a Seahawks fan watching this and you watch back the film, you watch back the tape, a lot of those offensive line, or a lot of those issues were, he holds the ball too long. He does. But a lot of that is just due to the poor offensive line for Washington. And that's why they completely revamped it, specifically with a new left guard in Nick Allegretti, new center in Tyler Biadasz. Washington revamped that offensive line because it was that bad. But my point is, Geno Smith, the Seahawks have an out. And I don't mean that, as any shade towards Geno Smith, because you don't need a Patrick Mahomes to win a Super Bowl. You don't need a Lamar Jackson, to try and make the Super Bowl. You really do not need that. I would not be surprised if Geno Smith, if you told me at the end of this year, or if you told me right now, Geno Smith eventually will win a Super Bowl, well, I get it. He's getting a little bit up there in age, but it wouldn't be that shocking with the right system and the right, like, folks, if you get back to that Legion of Boom defense, I don't know why Seattle can't give a team like San Francisco the run for their money. I really just don't. But anyways, Sam Howell yesterday completed 11 of 14 passes for 153 yards and a touchdown. He only played 4 drives. All right, only 4 drives for Sam Howell. Now, he was sacked twice. He also did fumble. That ball was ultimately recovered by Seattle. So, yeah, the sacks, and you are playing with backups, but, he did have a sack issue for holding on the football way too long last season. He also had one of his passes dropped by tight end Brady Russell on a play that would have been, I think, 15, 20 yards. They had 4 explosive plays with Sam Howell. Once again, he only had 4 drives. An explosive play is a play of 16 or more yards. He only actually had 2 passes out of his 14 attempts that didn't reach his receiver's hands, all right? 11 of 14. I don't care if you're going up against the Titans' backups or anybody's backups. The future could be Sam Howell in Seattle. Now, Geno Smith, you hope he stays healthy for the entire season, especially when you're in a division with the Rams and the 49ers, and it's just football. Players get hurt. And if Geno Smith, gets banged up and he has to miss a week or 2, God forbid, you need a capable, competent backup quarterback who's going to keep you in the playoff race, or ultimately maybe even, I'm thinking of Mason Rudolph last season, winning 3 straight games for Pittsburgh and, bringing them into the playoffs. Backup QBs is never going out of style. So whether it's the backup for this upcoming season behind Geno Smith, they brought him in here for a reason. He's only 23 years old. There could be something here. And if we're basing it off the first 2 preseason games, there really, really could be something here. All right. And then finally, I was reading an article from Michael Sean Duggar on The Athletic. He covers you guys on The Athletic. He does a phenomenal job. And he was going through some stock ups and some stock downs. And 2 guys that have been getting a lot of praise, a lot of hype in training camp and preseason was Laviska Shenault Jr., who was a freaking beast at Colorado back in the day, not even that long ago. Got drafted to Jacksonville. He actually was extremely productive there. And then you have Derek Hall, who was last year's 2nd-round draft pick. But let's talk about Shenault Jr. because he caught all 3 of his passes. He had 27 total yards. 2 of those actually gave the Seahawks first downs. And then he just did a little bit of everything right. He had a jet sweep for 5 yards, made some dudes miss. He didn't return a kick this week, but he had a nice block that ended up leading to a 41-yard kick return. He's going to make the roster. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because it's kind of a similar storyline to D. Eskridge. He's doing everything D is not doing. And D was drafted in the 2nd round a couple of years ago to kind of just be exactly what he's doing. So it's looking like Laviska is going to be the 5th wide receiver on the roster. You got Jake Bobo, you got JSN, you have Tyler Lockett, you have DK Metcalf. It's just a deep-ass wide receiver room, and I just love what I've been seeing from him. And then finally, you have Derek Hall. Folks, he's entering his 2nd season here. This guy was a freaking beast at college. In his final year at Auburn, 12 total tackles for loss, 60 total tackles, 7 total sacks. He even had an interception. He had a couple of forced fumbles. I love my SEC football players, and he's entering his 2nd season, and it's just once again kind of indicative to the Seattle Seahawks talent on the roster, on the defensive front, and just the depth they have as well. Mike McDonald came to Seattle for a very clear reason, and no, I'm not talking monetary-wise, but Derek Hall had a really good football game. He had a sack. He had 4 solo tackles against the Chargers last week, and yesterday he had 3 solo tackles, 4 quarterback pressures, and a first quarter sack. So his stock is quickly rising, and I guarantee you this is going to be a name to watch for the Seattle Seahawks defense this upcoming season entering his sophomore campaign. He did show us a lot in his rookie season as well. That's all I have for today. Once again, shout out to BetUS for sponsoring this video. Go check out my link down below. It'll also be pinned in the comment section, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. Be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content. Let me know just a quick question, or give me the answer to this quick question. Is Sam Howell the future starting quarterback for the Seattle Seahawks after this year? Let me know your answer. Thank you for watching. Peace.